Reese, I think it was before game one of the DS, you said because of everything you guys had been through this year, you weren't afraid of a challenge, a 4-0 deficit in the first inning. Does it feel like that's not as big of a deal because of everything you guys have been through so far?
Yeah, for sure. And I think especially right in the first inning, we hadn't even gotten to hit yet. We knew we had 27 outs left. And just the confidence I think that we have in ourselves as an offensive group, we knew that the game was not over by any means. Obviously huge to come out and punch back right away in the first inning. I think those runs are huge. Adding the third run, making it a one-run game immediately, just gets us right back in the game.
Marcus up in the front.
For a 6th seed that was down or up 2-1 in a NLCS, you were the only guy in the lineup whose name got booed. You got booed going into the box. You've had a couple of rough days in the field. What was it like to be in that moment, and what was the feeling after the first home run and second home run?
I mean, the feeling and the focus is all on the field. Boo, no boo, cheer. Like, the crowd was a factor tonight. And yeah, like it's about winning games. That's it. Regardless of how it happens, who gets booed, who doesn't get booed, who gets the hits, who makes the pitches. It's win. It's win. That's always the focus.
Your top 5 hitters really carried you on a night where, if you look at the pitching situation, even before the game, it looks like your top 5 hitters are going to have to carry you. Is it pretty gratifying that you guys did, kind of what you're paid to do?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, always. Regardless of who's on the mound, for them, for us, it's our job, especially at the top of the lineup, to kind of set the tone and get on base for the guys in the middle. Those guys driving runs they have all year. Schwarb and I thought did a good job, obviously, getting on base, setting the tone. Schwarb was on 3 times. The at bat by him in whatever it was, the 6th, 5th, where he fake bunts 3-1. Like, you're never going to see Kyle Schwarber do that. Not in the regular season, but this guy just wants to win games, find it any way on base. He knew we needed a little bit of a rally. It's just good baseball. It's fun to be a part of.
Paul.
Reese, you talk about setting the tone and how big the crowd is. Your 2 home runs tonight came at points where the game might get away, and down 4-0 in the first, you could lose the crowd. I mean, how much more special does it make those that you kind of kept the crowd in it with those 2 hits? Yeah,
it's big. We knew that the crowd was going to be a factor. We were confident in that. We saw it in the NLDS, and we feel like it's a big part of when you get those innings rolling. You get a couple guys on, it gets a little louder. You get the one big hit, it gets louder, and that's when you can really snowball things. And we're not new to scoring runs in bunches, but in the playoffs, when things are so much tighter and more intense, the crowd is one way to kind of let that snowball happen, and we saw it twice tonight.
You talk about winning and the team and all that, and that's the focus. But with what you've been through the last 6 years and all you've put in, you put your name on a list with guys like Utley and Howard with a multi-homer postseason game. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, of course. I have an appreciation for baseball history, but also more so appreciation for Phillies history. Being in the postseason, there's a lot of talk about how it's gone in the past here, which is awesome. It's a great experience. It's great stories to hear and to draw back on. But, yeah, humbling for sure, an honor. These are Phillies greats, potentially future Hall of Famers. Good list to be on for sure.
Matt up here in front on the right, and then Matt on the far left.
You said the morning after you signed Harper a while ago that you looked at that 08 photo and said you're tired of hearing about 08, you want to live it. Is this what this month's been like?
Feels like we're living it, yeah. The red towels, it's deafening loud, right? Like, yeah, it's just the whole scene. And as soon as you step on the field, really in batting practice, you could just kind of feel the electricity building. I need some more. Of it. And
the tear that Bryce is on, is that the kind of production that you imagined he would that you were adding? You know, you think back to years ago, you're adding a superstar, and here he is.
Yeah, you have a guy who has a chance to go out and win an MVP every single year. There's not that many of those guys on the face of the earth that can do that at the highest level. It's incredible to see him really perk up and do this on the biggest stage in this game. I'm sure he's got more in store for us because that's just the type of ball player that he is. But it's been awesome to see what he's doing in the dugout as well, and just keeping guys going. Obviously, he's rolling, but just to have that energy in the dugout when he can't be on the field, I think has been a big factor for a lot of us.
Matt up against the wall.
Reese, you're one win away from the World Series. Can you put into words what that means to you?
No. First timer, right? Like, I'm just soaking it all in as it's coming. You know, I didn't want to get too far ahead of ourselves last night about being 2 games away, but here we are with the chance to close out the NLCS at home. Like, I've said this a couple times in the last couple days, and I'm sorry it's getting redundant, but you can't write it better. For the guys in that room, for the staff, for everybody in this organization, but I think most importantly for the city, yeah, you can't write it better. I can't imagine what tomorrow is going to be like.
Todd on the left.
Just wondering if anybody said anything going into the dugout first inning as you guys come in down 4-0.
Yeah, a lot of us said 27 outs. Tomper echoed the same thing. We've been down before. You know, we knew with the bullpen game, the possibility of multiple guys having to be put in positions that they're not used to being in, that we were going to have to slug, and we did that tonight. But just Tomper's confidence and belief in us, just echoing the 27 outs, there's a lot of game left.
Take a couple more on the back right, and then to the left side with Hannah.
Reese, throughout the season, you guys have always talked about how resilient this team is and what you guys have gone through over this season and I guess to get there. And how much did that show tonight when you're down 4-0 and they were down again 6-4?
Yeah, I think, you know, like I said, resilient group, no doubt. But I think to do it on the stage that we're in right now should give us all the confidence in the world that no matter really the lead, no matter when it is in the game, we feel like we have a chance. And as an offense, that's an outstanding thing to have.
Hannah.
Hey, Reese, sorry to ask you to condense your entire career into an answer, but you've been here right through a lot of stages of this team with the struggles and then the sort of excitement and expectation of that 2019 offseason, the late collapses, and we see the results, but can you take us behind the scenes, the evolution of the team during your career, other than just the results?
Yeah, it's obviously been building for a long time. There's not that many of us here that were here in 2017, but I think all of us would say that the changes that have been made throughout the last 4, 5, 6 years were all made with a purpose, and the purpose started with John Middleton, who wants to win more than anything in the world, and you've seen that over the last couple of years. We always have a chance to win, and a lot of it, like you said, is behind closed doors. It's the staff, it's the R&D department, it's the strength and conditioning, it's the nutritionists, it's all of these things that are being put into place to make us players have the best chance to succeed out on the field. And guys that come in from other organizations, you know, if we were missing something, it's about the organization being open-minded and all ears, just really to put us in the best position to succeed.
Is the delayed gratification everything you hoped it would be?
I'll always hope that it won't take as long as it has, but yeah, it's blown every thought and expectation that I had out of the water.
Thanks a lot, Reese. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Go Phils.